So, the fun part about speaking truth to power is that power really doesn't want to hear that shit. Trust me, I just got off of a week suspension for hate speech, which is why I have to be very careful in how I approach what we're looking at right here. Now, first and foremost, to this very moment, how do I put this? If two consenting adults would like to legally bind themselves together via the mechanism that we call marriage, regardless of any difference between the two or non-difference between the two, I could care less. Okay? I to this moment am glad that people can legally take accountability for each other, regardless of what they decide to do with their own personal lives. I stand behind that, and I really want to put an emphasis on the term consenting adults. More poignantly or pointedly at adults. 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 That's where this loses me, okay? That's where, that's my line. If you are of age, a while back, we came to the agreement that 18 was an adult. You can make whatever choice you want to make. And you know what? We kind of rocked with that really well. But this is why they want to bomb us, all right? Like, Western society, Western culture, stuff like this is why the jihadists exist. Because, man, guys, when we agreed to the whole, marriage equality, marriage for all, to love, love shouldn't have any boundaries amongst adults. That's where the line was, and here we are, a few years later, and this. Look, that's not my kid, and by all technical means, I shouldn't care less what this young man's parents or parent decides to subject them to. But unfortunately, as this has become more of a mainstream thing, it really just I gotta say this is not cool, not by any stretch of the imagination. Look, I am not a hate monger at all, and I know you guys can notice I'm being rather careful about how I approach this, because I really don't want to get another the next time I get banned, it's for 2 weeks, and I don't want anyone to think that, oh yeah, well, Jay has a problem with me personally. I don't have a problem with you personally. I have a problem with this concept, with the feminization of young men. I do, because ladies, whether you realize it or not, you need your boys to be masculine. We need our strength, because that's really what it's about. We have the upper body, we have the bodies that's built for the labor, we have the bodies that are built for for fights, for struggles and the like. And like right now, they're hyping this cop in the Jersey City incident, who she went out while another officer was taking gunfire. She went and she got him. Man, good on you. But there's a reason they're hyping that, and that's because they're pushing this, true gender equality, and there's no difference between a man and a woman. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. There really is. There are tons of differences between the two of us, and that's nothing to be ashamed of. That's nothing to actually be angry about, because when it comes to the conversation of privilege, everyone has privilege in their own way. And really, and that's just naturally. Then it's what you make of the privileges that you have that really goes to speak to the life that you end up leading. And the fact that there's this push now to mainstream the feminization of young boys. Guys, come on. How can I not take issue with this? because you know how I'm looking at right now? I'm looking at my nephew who's being raised by a single mother. I'm looking at both of my nephews being raised by single mothers. And it's just like, yeah, baby, if you wants to be like we are so geared towards the feminine train of thought, which, you know, it can be very, very powerful and potent, but at the same time, it can also lead, going unchecked, it leads to places that ultimately are non-productive, doesn't really move anything forward, and only focuses on the emotion as opposed to, you know, pragmatism and logic. So yeah, this is sad. It really is. And I really hope that, like, upon seeing this, recognize that, hey, if you have children, the most important thing you can do for your kids is be there for them. Like, this, like me, my question is like, yo, where's this guy's dad? But in 2019, the dads these days are like, oh yeah, by all means, go ahead, just go on with it. Like, I remember Magic Johnson had a problem, was like, hey, why is my son kind of coming out this way? And his wife was like, oh, baby, don't worry about it. And, you know, she had his meat in her hands and like, and he's like, all right, cool, yeah, whatever. And, you know, it is what it is. Or the situation with the Smiths, but that's something completely different. Deal is that you need masculinity, guys. Whether you like it or not, it is a damn necessity that there is some line, some standard that is upheld. And this is not a part of it. This is nothing but chaos. This young man is being led into a lifetime of chaos. For what? I mean, the only benefit that it is projecting this image out to, you know, oh yeah, boys can be princesses too. All it does is weaken. All it does is weaken an already weak American male populace. That's all it does. It just keeps softening up, and then we get invaded or something like that happens, and you're looking around, and you know the guys are, the women are getting knocked over easily, and the guys are tumbling on behind them because they've been geared particularly over the past 30 years to believe that oh man, to think in the feminine. And I'm sorry, it's just thinking in the feminine, as I've illustrated in so many of these videos, is just, it's not helpful. It doesn't particularly move anything forward. It isn't particularly about progression. It's more about ventilation. And that's nice to get it all out, but what do you do with it? And that's a big part of the difference between the masculine and the female mind. Like the masculine, let the boy be playing a sport right now. Something to keep him active, to keep him physically going. As far as sitting down as a princess, this does absolutely nothing to help this young boy, have a better life, or to have a life, or have a life of contentment and fulfillment. But either ways, fingers crossed that this does not get me that community guideline strike, because I think that I've made my case rather clear in this, that hey, this has nothing to do with anyone. I'm not pointing this at anyone. What I'm saying is that for the mainstream to continue to try and push this notion that there is absolutely no difference between the male and the female is harmful and ultimately will get us nowhere. So with that being said, we're going to bring this one to an end. All the internet stuff, if you like this, also like this, go ahead, do that too. Nobody's scared of you. Sub if you enjoy my fantastic voice and you got videos like this and you want videos like this every single day. Bang the bell for notifications, so because you subbed, so you might as well know when your boy's dropping some new hot fire. Share, because sharing is caring. And YouTube, man, like I said, the weird thing about speaking truth to power, right? Power don't want to hear it. And I'm sorry, Paolo, but this is ridiculous, man. Y'all lost y'all damn minds. Speak. Let me know. What do you think in the comments? Am I being is there something wrong with me? Am I just not progressive enough? Am I nothing but a regressive now? Am I the hate monger? Have I turned into the thing that I so always wanted to fight? Have I become that which I despise? Please let me know. That's what I have a comment section for. And until the next one.